In our story today, we begin our Advent series with the birth of John the Baptist being foretold through an angel to Zechariah. Now, what's unique about this story is that Zechariah was a priest, an intercessor between Israel and God. But for us, what's the purpose of these priests and sacrifices? The book of Leviticus isn't the most exciting book to read, but it provides such rich context and depth of how God wanted his people to handle the cleansing of their sin before a holy God. Now, holiness is not simply being morally good, but being utterly distinct or set apart, so nothing with sin can ever come into God's presence. Well, this presents a problem for God's people, who, along with all of humanity, have been tainted by sin since Adam and Eve ate of that fruit in the garden. So one of the questions Scriptures answers is how? How can an impure, unholy, sinful people come near to God? Or as Leviticus 27 states, how can humanity be holy like God? One way we see the people of God being able to come near to God is through atonement. Atonement means two things: the repaying of a debt and to purify. This is most evidently seen in Israel's Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. This is when the high priest enters the Holy of Holies, the most holy place in the temple, and sacrifices a goat and sprinkles its blood on the mercy seat, where they believe to be the very place of God's presence. We see in Leviticus 16:16, "Thus he shall make atonement for the holy place, because of the uncleanness of the people of Israel and because of their transgressions." And later in verse 17 it says, "When he comes out, he has made atonement for himself and for his house and for all the assembly of Israel." Blood, innocent blood, was needed to cleanse the sin of Israel, and this was done yearly. But why? Why go through all this trouble to be atoned? So that a sinful humanity could enter back into a relationship with the holy God. Did you know our English word atone originally means the making of one, or unified, or reconciled? Just think about it. At one meant. The purpose of atonement is so that a holy God and a sinful humanity can be united or one again. But now, instead of a sacred process involving a physical temple with an innocent goat and sprinkled blood that Zechariah was familiar with, soon after his lifetime, there would no longer be priests like Zechariah, but there would be one great high priest. That, as Hebrews 9:12 says, he entered once for all into the holy places, not by means of the blood of goats and calves, but by means of his own blood, thus securing an eternal redemption, that on a hill called Calvary, God himself, Jesus Christ, would shed his blood on the cross and die, so that all of humanity's sins, past, present, and future, would be repaid by Jesus' innocent blood, and that by his blood we would be purified and atoned, or made one with God. If the cross of Jesus is the symbol of the gospel, atonement is what gives the cross meaning and power to make dead lives pure again.